So why would we use story pictures? Well, story pictures are a really great way to teach young children literacy. So what do I mean by literacy? I mean reading and writing. We all think of that, but I also mean things like viewing, calculating, thinking, speaking, listening. And so I want to talk a little bit about the importance of literacy and how we think about literacy at INSL. So there was this guy named Cooper who wrote this really long book about teaching literacy. It's kind of a textbook. And he talks about 7 processes of literacy: calculating, listening, reading, speaking, thinking, viewing, and writing. And so I thought that was really interesting. And one of the things that I really like about the story pictures is that we can address all of these aspects of literacy using these pictures. But what about drawing? I know those of you who know me have heard me talk tons and tons about how I draw and write with students. So what about drawing? How does that fit into literacy? And a few years ago, I was thinking to myself, well, drawing has to be the 8th literacy. And then I started looking at Cooper's 7 processes of literacy, and I realized that drawing was the missing piece. And I'm going to switch to my document camera to show you what my thinking on that was. So I realized that you could take Cooper's 7 literacy processes and you could pair them up. So we can pair up reading with writing. So when you think about reading, reading is when you take in information, when you take in written information. So if you're going to have a reader, then you have to have someone who writes what you read. So the opposite process is writing. So reading is more of an internal take it in process, and writing is a more external put out information process. Well, there's another set: thinking and calculating. Thinking is more internal. Here I am thinking about the problems of the world. It's a nasty cloud of mess. And over here, calculating is a type of thinking. Indeed, all of these are a type of thinking, but calculating is more external. That's when you're figuring something out. So here I am with my calculator, and I'm adding up some figures. So again, we have the internal and external, or passive and active aspects. So then the next one would be listening and speaking. So again, here we have the passive action of listening to what someone is saying and the active aspect of speaking. I'll give these people some arms. And then we have the 7th of Cooper's literacy processes, which is viewing. So the first thing that pops to mind when I think of viewing is watching TV. Well, here I am watching Judy Woodruff deliver the PBS NewsHour. And so, but there was no pairing for that. He had 7, right? So what goes in this spot? And I got to thinking, well, what does go in this spot? Well, projecting. So here's the projector or the TV tower projecting to the screen. But then I got to thinking, you know, how will we do this in school? Because with kids, you can't ask kids to make a video. You know, when you're 5, you're not ready to make a video to show your thinking to other people. So what's some other way that we can project our mental pictures? And that way would be drawing. So here I am drawing my ideas about one of the story pictures. And then I can give that drawing to someone else and they can view that drawing and see what I was thinking. So in this way, drawing is the 8th literacy. So one of my missions is to bring drawing into that whole framework of literacy. This is the thing that we leave out at school. And it's the thing that many, many students need in order to be successful. Drawing taps into that hand-eye brain connection and actually creates mental images by doing it. So the drawing is the 8th literacy, and that's the thing that I want to bring in. That's the message that I have that I want to share with the world. Let's draw with the students. We just add that in, we're going to we'll complete our literacy. So drawing is the 8th literacy, and we can use the story pictures for helping with that. So if anyone's interested in the story pictures, please reach out to me. They will be up on my website soon. And if you want to buy a set now, you can just reach out to me personally, and they are available. Thank you so much.